Hey everyone, it's your boy Chuck, back at it again with another speed paint video as usual. Today's video is fairly important. It's one of the topics that I really want to talk about for quite a while. I mean, we already talked about it a lot in my stream, twitch.tv/Chakudin, check it out. Yeah, we have talked about it for quite a bit. It is about a tips how to get out from the art block. So what is art block, as in like general knowledge? If you're an artist, then you probably know well what is an art block is and how annoying it can be. So yeah, as an artist myself, I found myself every now and then having an art block. So art block generally means just like you're out of inspirations, or you're out of fuel, or you just like whenever you want to work on something, whenever you want to be creative or something like that, you just can't. It's just one of those days. It happens to everyone. It happens to every artist in any field really that is art related, music, plays, any art related field. So a lot of these artists will have these kind of problems, or quote unquote art block every now and then, right? And it is fairly annoying, I have to say, because when you want to be productive, when you want to be when you want to create something, you just can't. It's just like your brain doesn't work at that time. So it is some kind of a serious problem, a problem that as an artist you have to look at it seriously. Okay, so yeah, that's what we want to talk about. We want to talk about how do I personally deal with them, because I think this is more of a general knowledge that every artist should or can utilize whenever they have this kind of problem. So the main thing, if you're an artist and you work with art and stuff, the main and first ever steps for you to do if you have an art block: don't stare at a blank page. Because I know whenever you try to work on something, right, and then you open up your program and then you open your canvas, a blank canvas, because yeah, generally what we want to work on, that's generally how we start working, right, on a blank canvas. But most of the time, if I were to work on something, I already have some reference, I already have some concept written down, I already have this kind of information written down, or I have like sketches that I did off computer and stuff on my sketchbook whenever I feel free and stuff. So whenever you want to work on something, make sure you have all these kind of items before you start on doing something, because when you stare at a blank canvas without any information, without any knowledge, without any preparations, it's just going to make your minds be as clean as that blank page. All right, it's going to affect your mind, as in because you were trying to think so hard, but there's just no image at all. So this is generally what most artists, including me, do or does when we have a art block and stuff. Just look at something, go online, go to a Pinterest, just look for inspirations. We already talked about like inspirations last video, but that's not kind of inspiration that we want to talk about. The kind of inspiration that I want to talk about here is look at other people's art, look at other people's work, look at anything really that are art related. Honestly, anything that have some creative tweaks in it works. It doesn't have to be a drawing from someone else. It can be a photograph, right? You can have a lot of idea when it comes to compositions. What is that popular things that people do on photography, like bokeh effect, that kind of stuff. That little details, if you look into it, it actually give you a little bit of information, a little bit of idea, even though you don't really feel it at first. But the more you look into it, the more you will get inspiration out of it. So yeah, go online, sit on your desk, go to Pinterest. I really recommend Pinterest. I don't recommend like Google search, because Google search is very general. When you look for something, yes, you can find something, but it lacks the creative minds behind it. I recommend either Pinterest or ArtStations. Pinterest, there is a lot of like ideas, informations. For example, like a lot of people doing process work and stuff. That I think that kind of reference is better. You look on Pinterest, for example, like post studies, color theories and stuff like that. It's really good. The Pinterest is a good site for that, in my opinion. But if you looking for like a very full-blown art, complete art, or just a a professional works, go to ArtStations. I have my ArtStation link below. You don't really have to look at my profile, but if you want to do, might as well, right? But what I'm trying to say, like, you can click on that link and then just browse through ArtStations, look at people's work and stuff, because people on ArtStations, most of them work as a professional freelancer. Even some of them works in the studios. Some of them is a studio leader for some art department somewhere on earth. There are really a lot of professional people there, and even if you're an artist, I really recommend you to have an ArtStation account, because essentially ArtStations have these features where every now and then they will scout, like professional will scout for new artists or new workers that they really want to work with. So if you really want that opportunities, I really recommend you to have ArtStation account. It is a good way for you to build your portfolio. It is very optimized for art portfolio. It's way better than Instagram. Like Instagram crop, everyone knows, kind of fucking shit, right? It looks like shit. So, but ArtStation, you can optimize that. So yeah, do create ArtStation account. So other than for looking for reference and stuff, I know sometimes even though you have a reference, sometimes it just doesn't spark your mind, right? It just like block from any creative informations or any creative mindset at the moment. There's those days. It happens to me, it happens to everyone. So my advice, if you still didn't have the inspiration to work on something, even though you have this kind of informations ready, even though you have these preparations ready, you have reference and stuff, my advice is like, get off your desk. Just don't work that day. I mean, I will not like not doing or not creating anything for one day. Personally, I will not do that. I prefer to have every single day. I prefer to have something that I work on, something that I can create, something that something creative every single day. I will not go for a day without drawing at all. Doing this professionally has taught me that you have to be consistent at what you're doing to become success, right? So I will not advise for you to like not doing anything for that day, but if you really need some rest, just get off your desk and do something else. Some professional art freelancer that I know that work with a lot of studios and stuff told me that if I do have this kind of problem, just get off my desk, go for a walk, go outside, go for a walk, and just simply look at the natures, have a breather, get fresh airs, and just sometimes changing your environment. As an artist, I know the struggle of like working in your office for hours and hours, or whatever you are, like your room or something like that. You work for hours and hours, and sometimes you just like you feel confined. I know it's like quarantine now, and people are not advised to go for a walk or something like that. But I'm pretty sure just go off on your lawn and just take a breather is allowed. It's not that bad, okay? Just let's be real. It's not that bad. So just go outside on your lawn or something like that. Just like relax, take a breather and stuff, and then get back in, sit on your desk, and I'm pretty sure you will have something, because 80% of the time when I did this, it works. It gave me that fresh mindset to start on something, right? But what if it doesn't work? What if you have done a lot of this kind of stuff but it just doesn't work? So my advice is like check out some games. Like for real, I've been playing Apex a lot lately. Generally because I genuinely enjoy that game with friends and stuff, but I also enjoy how aesthetically pleasing that game is, and I really like to watch all the theories, all the lore behind the characters and stuff, and I love to look at a lot of fan art that people does. So technically, watching or playing some games, it works. It gives you this inspiration sometimes. When you play some games, you don't really pay attention. You just focus on the gameplay, right? But in subconscious mindset, your brains works different kind of way. But your creative brain works more when you play games and stuff, because essentially, other than from thinking about strategy, how to win the game, your brain also appreciates the aesthetic aspects of the game. So if you an artist of any sort, you already have like the fundamentals of art mindset, right? So it subconsciously captures this scene when you're playing some game. It just be like, sometimes you don't really feel it, but sometimes you just play game, you'll be like, yo, this scene is kind of nice. It looks very beautiful, and it's like the composition and stuff. So that kind of informations, even though it does not give you a clear indication that you actually capture these ideas, this concept and whatnot, it does. Your brain does capture that. If you usually work on art, your creative mind is better than most people and stuff, it will give you some kind of information subconsciously. So yeah, if you really have problem, even though you have done a lot of stuff that we just talked about, just get off your program and start some games, play some games, call your friends and play with them. I know a lot of I don't personally enjoy the game that I have to play alone and stuff. I do enjoy sometimes, but sometimes we just want to have fun with friends. So yeah, just play games. It will help you in some way. I think that's about it. I have other stuff to talk about, but I think this video has been dragged for far too long. It is longer than usual, so I think that's all. As usual, check out other stuff that I have. We do stream regularly 4 times a week, so check that out. All the related links is down below. Support me on Ko-fi or Patreon or anything really. And check out our podcast. We have a podcast now called Better Toast Podcast. I'll put a link in the description below about the podcast and stuff. And check out also my other social platform. Twitter, Instagram, ArtStation, all related links is down below. And just a heads up, at some point I probably will take some time off from uploading weekly. Not because, it's just because I was thinking about doing this collaboration with some artists and stuff, and that could take some time to edit and stuff like that, right? So it's not a big deal. It's not like I will try to still upload every week if I can, but if it's a little hard for me to work on, I probably will skip a week, just a week, not even 2 weeks. I don't think it's gonna take that much time, but yeah, just a heads up for that. So as usual, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you guys as always. Wash your hand, wash your ass. I see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.